Good evening, everyone. Thanks for watching Brand New Media today. You know, February is Black History Month, and I decided to spotlight some of the entertainers here in the Mid-South. And Miss Jackie Murray, she's our guest today. Welcome, Jackie.
Thank you.
Jackie is a singer and an actress and a playwright here in the Mid-South. She travels all over the Mid-South, is that right?
That's correct.
With her talent. And Jackie, give us her introduction of who you are. Let the people know Jackie Murray.
Well, I am an actress, director, singer, and a community activist as well. I just act and sing and do me so that I can help others do themselves.
Yes. So, okay, now let's talk about some of your shows that you've done here. Could you give us some of your shows that you've done? And I know you got a lot of upcoming events coming up also.
Right.
So just tell us some of the things that you've already have accomplished here in the Mid-South.
All right. Well, at some of the local theaters, like Playhouse on the Square, I was last on stage there as Motormouth Maybelle in Hairspray. I've also been out in Mississippi at the Soto Family Theater. I played Muzzie von Hausmeyer in in Thoroughly Modern Millie. And I've also been out at the Herald Theater. A lot of people would remember as Tituba in The Crucible.
Okay.
And I've been basically at pretty much every theater in the Mid-South here. Yeah. And I've done some short films and commercials, and you know, I also have a one-woman show that I've written.
Now that's the one that you really known. That one woman's journey. That's that Harriet Tubman. Oh my God. We're going to get a little bit of that today too. So just hang on in there with us. Jackie going to give us a little taste of that today.
Okay.
And also she's going to sing. So you stay in there. Don't turn that channel anywhere because you're going to watch Jackie today. She's going to sing for us also. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll sing a little bit.
Yeah. So give us some of your dates of your performance, what you have coming up in the future.
Okay. Well, I will actually be outside of Nashville. It is a private event, though. It's at a school in Warchase, Tennessee, for my Harriet Tubman One Woman's Journey. Following that, I'll be headed out to New York City, where I am actually writing another play.
Oh, great.
The title of it is Aspire, the musical.
Okay.
And I have cast it already with all of my friends. My crew members are friends, mainly here from Memphis. We'll be going to busing them out to New York this summer. And I'm headed out there to get my venue. So
I like that, Jackie.
Yes,
great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So aspire, as everybody knows, is to put forth, to go forth, you know, to follow your dreams. And
so you got some of the local people here to be part of your cast.
Yes, yes.
For the show. I like that. That's what we're doing here. We're spotlighting some of the Mid-South talent here. We have a lot of talent here in the Mid-South.
Yes.
And we just need, you know, to get out there. We need that airtime. We need that exposure for all the talent that's here.
Yes.
We got a lot of singers here.
Dancers,
actors.
Yep.
I mean, it is overwhelming for all the people that's here in the Mid-South. So, you know, we as media people, we need to get involved and help the people here in the Mid-South for some exposure.
Right.
That is the truth.
Promotion is key.
Yeah, that is the key. So, Jackie, first, I want you to give us a song. We're going to go into your Harriet Tubman a little later on.
Okay.
So I know you have, how many albums out?
I have one album out, and I'm working on my second album now.
All right. And also, Jackie, you do a lot of things at Soulville here in the Mid-South. So elaborate a little on that before you start.
Okay. Well, the record label I am under, Power Records, is actually housed in the Soulsville, USA building, the old Walker House on Mississippi Boulevard, right around the corner from Stax. So they have a lot of projects that are coming up. I'm not sure if I'm like privy to say exactly.
Right, no
but
problem.
you know, this area, I'll just give a little hint. This area, as everybody knows, is like Aretha Franklin's birthplace.
Yeah.
So there's a project on the table right now that I might have my hands in. So
oh, great.
That's part of the Soulsville USA project. So just keep your eyes open and listen out for some of those
Okay,
things.
now what type of music that you're singing? Is it more like, it's soul, right?
It is soul. It's called spiritual soul. It's a brand new genre. Okay. And basically you take every genre and mash it together and just infuse it with soul. Okay. And you got spiritual soul. So if you can have a rock song, as long as you get that soul in, you should be able to feel it.
You can feel it.
That's the thing about music today. You really can't feel it anymore. It's robotic. It's tinny. Everybody's using auto-tune. Yeah. And that was one thing that was very important to me, was that my producer did not use any auto-tune on my voice. I wanted it to be pure. I want people to be able to feel exactly what I was trying to give them through the music.
Okay, well, can you give the people just a little?
A little bit?
Just are you feeling it right now, Jackie?
I can do a little. I can do a little song. I can do it just a little bit.
I know it's very early in the morning,
but
do you feel a little soul right now,
yes,
Jackie?
Yes, I do.
It's Black History Month. Let's feel a little soul. Okay, come on, Jackie, give us a little something.
All right, one of the songs on my album is called Love Flow. Okay, and I'll just give you a little bit of that. Love hurts so much. Sometimes love feels so good. Sometimes love can take you to the roads of happiness and roads of bitterness and roads of lies. Roads where everybody tells the truth. Roads of scars and strife. Love has a way of making you feel ill, sick, making you feel so good. Sometimes love can be better than life. You have to let love flow.
I feel it. I feel it.
Thank you.
That is soul.
That's
spiritual soul.
Thank you.
You know, I can feel it.
You felt it, yes.
Yes. Amazing.
Yes.
Great, Jackie. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
So that's one of your
one of the singles off the album. The album is called Soul Dance. The title track, Soul Dance, and there are 10 tracks on there. Totally co-written by me, my first project at the age of 50.
Okay, well, great. I mean, you're never too late. Great.
No, you're never too late to follow your dreams.
That's right. That's right. You have that little saying. What's that about the bird?
If you don't follow your dreams, it's like being a bird that is afraid of heights.
Love that.
That's my saying.
So tell the people, I mean, if they want to get one of your CDs, how can they?
Actually, it's on every platform, iTunes. It starts out as CD Baby, so Spotify, Pandora. Just search out Jackie Murray Soul Dance, and you'll be able to find the album on one of those platforms.
I love that, Jackie.
Thank you.
I felt the soul. That's what you call real singing there, when you can feel it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I believe we're going to take a little break right now, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for watching BrenNewMedia's show today. I have here Jackie Murray. She's our spotlight here at BrenNewMedia today. She's a singer and an actress here in the Mid-South, and we're spotlighting her here today. So welcome back from the break. And Jackie was telling me on the break that, while we was on break, that it's an award show that's coming up. Elaborate a little on that.
Well, I am part of a new venture which is called the Understry. And just to explain what the Understry is, you have the underground and indie artist world, any genre. Then you also have the industry, but the industry is that middle ground. We provide services for independent artists that they might not be able to get from the industry. And we have our affiliates where, you know, if somebody needs some photographs taken, we have certain photographers that are part of the industry, part of our network, that we put them in touch with, you know, somebody that is respected, someone that won't try to gouge them price-wise, folks that we trust them to use. So whatever an independent artist needs. Now, a lot of these independent artists are putting out music and they're not really getting the promotion that they need. So part of what we do is we help to promote them. Good. This is all over the world.
All over the world.
So there is a competition right now. This will be the first annual Indie U, and that's the letter U, awards. So U stands for you, and you, and you, okay? And you. So it's all about you. You've heard of the BET Awards and the VH1 Awards. Well, it's pretty much the same thing, except it's all about you. Yes.
Very good. Now, where's that going to be located?
It's going to be, the final culmination is going to be in Miami in 2020, October 24th, 2020. And in the meantime, there are competitions that are being held all over the world. Each week, we have Chicago has already started rolling out their competitions. There are some in LA. We're working on a location in Atlanta, here in Memphis as well, while I'm here on this layover.
So you're working on getting people together. How can people, what if somebody would like to get involved who's watching the show today?
You can go to Facebook. We have the Understry page. It's spelled UNDERSTRY. And also you can contact me directly. I can be reached. I'll give you my email address. It's Murray, MURRAY, .Jacqueline, JACQUELINE 67 @ymail.com. So you can contact me directly if you're interested. Any genre of music is being considered. So if you're rock, pop, hip hop, rap, whatever, you can get into this competition and compete for that spot to say that you are the best independent artist in the world.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
That's going to be a great, great show down in Miami.
Yes.
In 2020.
Yes.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So let's go back to this Harriet
Okay.
tournament. I know you're involved with the schools.
Yes.
With your one-woman show. Elaborate a little on that. But you know what I would like to know? What inspired you to do Harriet Tubman? What inspired you? What motivated you to choose her to do your one-woman journey show?
It was interesting because I was actually returning to Memphis. I went to work in D.C. and something happened. I got sick and I was like, I'm going back to Memphis. I only have one life.
That's right.
You know, and I'm going to do me. So on my way back, I was driving down the road with my son, and I said, you know what? I want to do my own show. And he said, oh, your own show? It's like, yeah, I want to do my own show. And he said, well, what would you do? I said, I don't know. So I got back to Memphis, and 1 month later, I was contacted by a theater group out of Pocahontas, Arkansas. I don't know if you remember back in 2011, we had a lot of flooding in the area, and they actually, their theater was flooded out. So they were in the middle of renovations and trying to get that, but they couldn't do any shows at the time. So they were starting a school program where they would actually go out to the schools and perform in order to, you know, maintain themselves. And they said, we want you to do your own show. I said, huh? They said, you write it, and we'll take care of all the marketing, the booking, and everything. It's yours. You can do whatever you want to do with it. I said, well, look at God.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
So I took about a year, and I started actually writing about 5 different women, significant African-American women, like Bessie Smith, Maya Angelou, and Harriet Tubman.
Right.
And I was writing, it was supposed to have been one show about 5 different women.
Okay.
And ultimately, as I was doing all of my research, Harriet kind of made it her own show. It became hers. Okay. She has such a vast background. It's so much more than leading 300 slaves up to freedom in Canada. It's way more than that. You know, she worked as a scout in the Civil War and a nurse. She worked for women's rights with Susan B. Anthony. She knew Frederick Douglass, and you know, she took some of the slaves there, you know, to hide out. He was part of the Underground Railroad. She worked for all of our rights as Americans, you know, speaking on several different platforms. But the one thing that actually stood out, and I think this was the catalyst, was when I was doing my research, I found out that she had a one-woman show.
She had a one-woman show.
Yeah, where she would go around and she would teach people about what life was like as a slave, and she sang spirituals. And I said,
this is it. That's your calling.
Yes. So I just basically am keeping her legacy going the way that she had it going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now how I got involved with the schools.
With the schools, with your one-woman
It's interesting. I started going out to the schools, of course, with Pocahontas, and that was basically in the Arkansas area.
Okay.
And I wanted to expand a little bit. So I became a teaching artist under the Tennessee Arts Commission, and now I am the Tennessee professional artist representative for the Tennessee Theater Association.
Okay.
So with that, I go to universities, and I also do the show at universities and conferences as well. Every once in a while, I'm maybe about every 2 years or so, I do a public performance, like here in Memphis, which is probably where you...
Right.
And I do a public performance where the public can get the full show. See, when I do the show for the kids and for the universities, most of the time it's just one act, which is about 45 minutes, where I'm doing the younger Harriet. So
basically, how long is the show for the one-woman journey?
The one act is about 45 minutes with a Q&A at the end, where the kids just love. I mean, you see hands. Lots of questions.
And that's great.
Yeah, and then if I do the full show, it's an hour and a half. So I come back out at the end of, the second act, I come out and I'm old. I'm like an 89-year-old woman. And I'm telling the story from what happened from the time that Harriet dropped them off in Canada up until the time of her death. I tell everything that a lot of people don't get.
And you let the kids be involved.
Yeah, everybody's involved. It's I break the fourth wall in this show, which means as the fourth wall, you're talking to the audience. Like on the first act, the audience is the slaves that I am taking to Canada.
So that's
they become part of the show.
Become part of the show.
Yeah.
I love that, and I know the kids.
It's
very educational, and the kids learning at the same time.
It's edutainment. Education.
Entertainment. I love entertainment.
Yes.
I love that, Jackie.
Thank you.
Yes. So Jackie's going to give us just a little. We're gonna take another break, but when we get back, Jackie's gonna give us a little bit of this one woman's journey.
Okay.
Harriet Tubman. Be right back.
Are you ready? For the greatest band in the land, Miss Jackie Murray and the Deep Impact Band.
Yeah.
before the break, Jackie was telling us about her trips to the school system where the kids get involved with her one-woman show by Harriet Tubman. So I had a couple of questions for her in reference to that. Mm-hmm. My thing is, what type of questions the kids want to know about Harriet Tubman? What type of questions they ask when you have the Q&A?
A lot of their questions are about her family. They're very interested in her personal relationships, like with her parents. They want to know if she was able to get her parents to freedom. And I love to tell them yes, that she was able. That was the very last trip that she took. She took 19 trips over the course of about 19, 20 years, going back and forth to Canada to lead slaves to freedom. Mm-hmm. So on the very last trip, she was able to get her parents out, and it was so funny because her father was kind of bedridden. Mm-hmm. So she stole a horse and buggy to get him out. To get him out. Mm-hmm. And you know, that's kind of hard if you're trying to hide behind. Oh yeah, she just
very strong,
very
powerful,
tough and powerful.
Woman.
They said, well, what if something happened, you know, medically? Well, she worked with a lot of the plants. You know, she worked with the roots and the berries in order to make medications and she was tough. And when I say tough, I also read that she had a tooth that had started to rot. Mm. And she actually pulled it on the way to Canada. What else are you going to do? She pulled it. And that's something that they want to know. Like, how tough was she?
How tough was she?
And I'll tell them that she
about
pulled that.
Tooth.
Yeah. So many different questions. They have questions across the board. There are questions I'm like, I have never asked. Yeah, I've never been asked that question before. You know, so you never know. Kids' minds are just, I mean, they're sponges. And they're just aching for the information.
I love
and
that.
when you get it to them, especially through the edutainment, you never know what might spark for them to ask. And I'm open. You know, I'm open.
I love that. You're teaching like Black history, educating the kids on history. These are things that actually happen.
And it's not very long ago.
Yeah.
When you think about it, in actuality, 2013 was the 100th anniversary of her death. So that's still, you can still touch that.
Yeah.
You can still touch people that are related to her. I actually did live in Cambridge, Maryland, where she is from for a little while. So when I talk in the show about standing by the bank of the Choptank River, looking across the water to the other bank, I actually did that. And I cried because I couldn't figure out how they were able to get across that water. I said, there's no way. I could barely see the lights on the other side of the houses. How could they get across there? So when I started doing my research and I found out that they had boats as part of the underground, like a man would show up with a boat,
one of the paddles,
and you would get into the boat, and he would take you up river all the way to Delaware. I said, makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So that was very helpful for me to be able to do that after, you know, visualizing.
Yeah, I know it was very touching, very emotional.
Yeah.
Yes. So Jackie, take us on home with just a little of your one woman's journey by Harriet Tubman. Take us on home with that.
Okay.
Let us feel it.
You know, I used to stand right here by the Choptank River. I told you. And there was this young lady. She was one of those Quaker ladies. You might remember. Her name is Miss Sally. She lived out there in Bucktown. Well, she's the one who told me about this spot right here. Sure did. She said,
Now maketh thy way to the Choptank River, and there, if thou art fortunate, thou will meeteth up with a man with a boat, and he will taketh thee to thy next station. God be with thee.
Well, there I went back to the Choptank River, and I told you I've been here many times before, but I ain't never seen no man with no boat. But this one time, guess what I saw? It was a man with a boat. But see, there's just way too many of y'all right here, right now, to get in that little man's boat. So we're gonna have to walk. And when we walk, we're gonna walk north. Now, how we know which way is north? Well, sometimes we can look up at the sky and we can see the North Star. Sometimes we're gonna have to look at the trees and see which side of the tree the moss grows on. But as long as we keep the north ahead of us, we'll be heading to Canada to freedom. And how do you know what freedom is? Freedom is you being able to do anything that you want to do. Now you can read, you can write, you can do whatever it is that you have in your heart that God has put in there for you.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children. Oh, wade in the water. God is gonna trouble the water. Who are those children dressed in red? Don't you know God is gonna trouble the water? It must be the ones that Moses led. Don't you know God is gonna trouble the water? Who are those children dressed in white? God is gonna trouble the water. It must be some of those Israelites. God is gonna trouble the water. Who are those children dressed in blue? Don't you know God is gonna trouble the water? It must be the ones that made it through. Don't you know God is gonna trouble the water?
There you go, people. The one and only Jackie Murray.
Thank you so much.
The one and only Jackie Murray. Yes.
Thank you very much.
One woman's journey.
Yes, yes.
Harriet Tubman.
Yes.
Thank you, Jackie. Jackie
Thank
took
you.
it on home. Thanks for watching Brand New Media Show. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.